In 2024, we decided to take a fun trip to Disneyland out in California. Now, I had actually never been to the Disneyland park. I had been to the California Adventure, but never to Disneyland. So we got there really early, got into the parking garage, and we had to wait in line at the parking garage, had to wait in line to get into Disney, and then we took one of these little trams to get to the actual park. And that whole process to get in took probably about 45 minutes to an hour. Well, we finally got in the park and we got to take our picture here in front of the Mickey Mouse flower display. And the workers were so kind. They told me where to go to get my button to put on my shirt for first visit to Disneyland. Forgot to mention it was $35 to get in, and we only got a one-day pass each, and it was about $195 a person to get into Disneyland, which I thought was a little bit expensive. But once I got there and had a fun day at the park, it was well worth the money. I encourage everybody to do this at least once in their life, if you have kids to take or not, because we are grown men and we had a fantastic time there. Got there pretty early, right when they opened the doors, and they already had the mascot characters out there entertaining everyone, which is a huge treat right when you walk in. This is one of the first things you see, and it just kind of gives you the feeling you're going to have a great day there. Now, our goal was to jump into the park and go straight to the Star Wars ride, because that's mainly why I wanted to go to Disneyland, to experience the new Star Wars world. But we stopped and took so many pictures that when we actually got down to the Star Wars ride, which was near the back of the park, we were in the back of the line. And we probably had to wait about an hour and a half to get on the ride. And that is us going into the park right when it opened. And when we did get to the back of the park, to the Star Wars section, we were just blown away how everything was so detailed. And it just really felt like you were in that new galaxy, that new planet. You just felt like you were somewhere else, and did a fantastic job. Everything was so detailed. Right here, even the bathrooms were detailed. This is the men and women's bathroom. They had little control panels, and then this is what the sink looked like in the bathroom. It's just amazing. I really appreciated all the details, like right here where you bought drinks even looked like it was from that planet. Everything was so cool. So this is actually when we went into the main ride. I can't remember what it's called, but it's the main ride there. And this is the waiting area. Even the waiting area is so detailed, and they just didn't leave out anything. It's so much better than just standing in a regular room waiting for an hour and a half to get into a ride. You were able to look and appreciate things while you're standing in line for so long. And actually, with these type of details, it makes it where it doesn't feel like you did wait as long. And then coming up next is the small pre-show right before you get on the ride.
BB-8, prep the ready room for recruits. Commander 9-Num, please report back to IGS cockpit.
BB-8, is everyone assembled? Good. Shouldn't you be in flight prep? Recruits, thank you for joining the calls. A covert resistance team led by my friend Finn has infiltrated a First Order Star Destroyer that is now headed to this...
Escort us to the rendezvous point on Bakara.
Roger, this is Black Leader. I hear you're a fine-looking group of recruits. Well, no time to waste. Let's get you on your way.
Orders away in 30 seconds. Good. Yes.
Then it was time to go to the ride, and I'm just going to be quiet and let you enjoy this. It's so amazing.
will pay the resistance prisoners.
You have what I want. You know the location of the secret base, and I will take it from you.
We are needed on the bridge.
Keep the prisoners here. I will return to finish this personally.
Wait, you're still here? Poe's coming back with an attack force. Get to the escape pods now! Lieutenant Beck, we need to find him a way.
Recaudos para su seguridad. Permanezcan sentados con sus cinturones.
Did it work? Good. Now get a move on. There's a clear path to the turbo lifts at the end of the hallway. Turn right. A probe droid. You're lucky it didn't spot you. Take those turbo lifts and stay out of trouble. Hey, you're not. Your cover is blown. Find an alternate route. Who picked these two droids anyway?
There they are! Fire!
Just follow us. Take the list down. Hurry!
You better hold that call.
This does not look good. Try to find another way down to the escape pods.
The resistance will attempt to rescue the prisoners.
They have neither the resources nor the courage to engage us.
You underestimate their conviction. Raise the shields!
Shields? I see no evidence.
Now!
Sound the alarm! All personnel to their stations!
Sir, the prisoners have escaped.
How brave. But ultimately hopeless. There's nowhere to run.
You outside the wreck.
Scaffold's parking.
Lieutenant Beck here. Beck! You're right. I should hope so. Great job, recruits. Thanks to your heroism, the location of the Resistance base is secure. Bravo! Yes, R5, you too.
Well, how amazing was that? You got to see part of the ride. We tried to videotape a little bit of it. And then you'd go out into this part of the Star Wars exhibit where They had different vendors set up in these little cave like cubby holes. Very cool, very realistic. Like I said, they just did not leave out any details. Everything was so cool and so amazing. So we were making our way. They told us they had a different ride, so we started headed towards that way to find it. Well, this was walking into the second ride, and we were just so happy. There was no line. We went straight all the way through right to the ride. And this ride consisted more of where you would sit inside a small spaceship, and there were like 6 of us in there, and they would assign you different jobs. Like we were the first 2, so we were the pilots, and the 2 people behind us were assigned to be the shooters. And we had no clue what we were doing. When we got in the spaceship, we thought that was just a joke. You were the pilot, but you actually have to steer this thing. And if you don't steer it right, you start running into the wall, and sparks and everything start coming up. And it was fun, but it was kind of scary at the same time, where you felt a responsibility to drive the ship right. So I would definitely do it again now that I know what it does. But a lot of fun, and I'm just glad we videotaped everything so we could actually remember all of this, because when you're living in the moment, sometimes you're just enjoying it and you can't remember all these details. But here's the spaceship as we sat inside. Well, we give the Star Wars area 5 stars. It was amazing, but we ended up spending several hours down in that part, so we decided we better get a move on and start seeing the rest of the park. Well, we really didn't have a plan of what else we wanted to see. We were just kind of walking around exploring, and it was fun doing that, and we would stop and take pictures. We always appreciate all the flowers they have everywhere, and they really spend a lot of money keeping up these little gardens areas. They're so beautiful to look at. So we definitely got a lot of video of the different flowers. And one thing I wanted to do, I definitely wanted to take pictures in front of the castle. And I've been to Disney World in Florida, and their castle is humongous. I was a little bit disappointed this castle was so small, but it really didn't matter. I definitely wanted my picture taken there, and I was just happy I actually got to see this in my lifetime. And we didn't get to do every single ride there, but we did like to take video of it and at least say we saw it. But as you get older, you don't want to ride so many rides that are so fast and twirl you upside down and everything. So the next section we found were the historic teacups, and we didn't ride these, but it was so cool just seeing them, and I just enjoyed watching all the families have a good time. That was pretty special. So then we saw the Mad Hatter and Alice actually in the teacups. That was pretty cool too. And then they would walk around and take pictures with everybody, and they stayed in character the whole time. I love that. And actually what we decided to do was, we got this video while we were standing in line, but we decided to get on the Alice in Wonderland ride. Now it looked like a little kid ride, but we were like, why not? Let's do it. We're here to have a good time, and all these people will never see you again, so just go live your inner child. So this is the Alice in Wonderland ride. You would get in a little car, and it was pretty tight. So one of us got in the front. I think Ray got in the front. I got in the back. And it's just like a small little, I don't even want to say a roller coaster, but it just took you through this area. So I'll let you watch it.
This is curious. Told you.
Oh, by the way, I'm not sure where I am here.
But wait! Don't go! You should raise a horse.
And each of us.
Her Imperial Highness, the Queen of Hearts.
And the king.
Shall we play croquet?
Rule 42. The queen always wins.
Now, one of my favorite rides at Disney World in Florida was It's a Small World. And when I realized they also had it here, this was a must-do. I love this ride.
Watch your children. Permanezca sentado, mantenga las manos, brazos, pies y piernas dentro del barco y cuide las pequeñitas.
All right, well, here we go. Let's go enter It's a Small World. Now, if you've never done this ride, just go embrace your inner child and do it. It's so colorful and so much fun. Now, I did have to go take all the sound out of the video so it would be approved and not be muted or censored, but it plays It's a Small World after all over and over and over again. So I probably did you guys a favor so it doesn't get stuck in your head, because once we left the ride, it stayed in our head for hours and hours. Now, when I was a kid, I never got to go to Disneyland or Disney World. We would always go to Six Flags over Georgia when we were able to afford vacations back then. So it was pretty cool to get to do something like this as an adult, because actually you can remember so much more as an adult than if you were taking someplace like this when you were 4 or 5 or 6 years old. You can never remember everything. And it's so cool now that we have cell phones that have a video camera that we're able to videotape these types of things, so we can actually go back and rewatch it and enjoy it. Because when you're living in the moment, you miss so much. You're just enjoying the experience and you're telling people, oh, look at that, look at this. And you just can't remember it all because it's just too much. So videos are fabulous. Now, most of the characters are just little dolls of children that are dressed in their country costumes, but I did notice here and there they did have a couple of Disney characters stuck in there. Like I do remember seeing Woody and Jessie from Toy Story. So one thing I do love about the It's a Small World ride are the little doll figures. I think they are the star of the show, of course. But since I do own a toy museum, I was able to collect some of those dolls when they came out from Disney. And I think when they first came out, they were worth about $30. And now a lot of them are worth way over $100. So it just shows I'm not alone. A lot of people love It's a Small World. So if you have a trip coming up to either Disneyland or Disney World, don't think you're too cool. Make sure you go and ride the It's a Small World ride. It will give you an amazing feeling and just make you feel like a kid all over again. Well, there was your free ride through It's a Small World. Such a happy place. So then they had this big open amphitheater that you could sit and watch some free shows. And before it started, they had a lot of the characters down there where you could take different pictures with those. And we were running down there trying to get our pictures made, but we were a little too late, and they told us we'd have to come back later if we wanted our pictures made. So we didn't get that. But we did stay to try to watch the show, but then realized it was geared towards small kids, like probably 6 and under. So we did leave. We did see this one lady that had this purse full of little plush that was really cool. We took a picture of. And then we decided to get on the train, and that was a pretty cool experience, but it was a short ride. I don't think we went around the whole park. And we saw people doing the little canoe ride, and Ray wanted to do that. And I was actually like, no, I really don't want to work and get all sweaty on vacation, but we did end up doing it. And we did eat lunch there. We ate at, I think it was like a Cozy Bear, Country Bear restaurant, and we got burgers and fries and a drink, and it was about $40 for the two of us to get burgers, fries, and a drink. But the view is really good. We were right there on the water, and we saw the riverboat and the pirate ship go right by us, so that's pretty cool to see. And then, of course, we just explored around a little bit more, and we found this cool tree house. We did not go up in it. And then right next to the tree house was the Pirates of the Caribbean ride. So we did do that, but we didn't get any video inside because it's really, really dark. But it was just big pirate ships and like skeletons and things like that. Pretty cool to see. And the line wasn't terribly long to get inside that. So then we found our way to the canoe ride Ray wanted to do. And you did have to like do your oar in the water to make it go, so they say. But I think it was really motorized, and you really didn't have to work that hard. You just kind of had to put your oar in the water to feel like you were rowing the boat. And then we did find the statue of creator Walt Disney and Mickey Mouse, and we definitely had to take a picture there. That's something you have to see there. Now the next section we came upon was called Tomorrowland, and it looked like futuristic, and it's really cool to see. Got a lot of cool video here, and they had one ride we wanted to ride, so we went there and got in line, and we're in line about 30-40 minutes and realized it was just taking too long because we didn't want to miss the parade. We knew we weren't staying that night for the parade, so we wanted to see the daytime parade, and we were so lucky. One of the workers had a reserved section, and she chose us out of like 50,000 people, and we got to sit in the reserve section for free. And she just maybe it's because I was wearing the first time visitor button there, but for some reason we were selected and we got a shady spot to watch the parade. Talk about luck. Now, compared to Mississippi heat, the heat in California wasn't bad at all. In Mississippi, we have a lot of humidity, and it makes it a really hot heat. So here it was really pleasant, and of course, being in the shaded section, it was even better. So I kind of felt sorry for all those people with the sun beating down on their face. But we didn't have to because we were chosen to be in the reserve section. Such a treat. Now, the parade was really cool. They had really good music playing throughout the parade as all the different dancers and floats went by. But I couldn't add the music to the video because it would be censored or muted for YouTube. So just imagine a lot of lively music as these characters come down. And the workers that are inside the costume characters, even though I know they're sweaty and hot, you would never guess it. They certainly put on a show and made everybody live their true Disneyland experience. Now, before each float came out, the float had its own group of dancers that would walk in front of the float, which was pretty cool. It would kind of give you a hint of what's coming up next. Now, these floats were amazing. They were what you would expect from Disneyland. They're high dollar, they're professional, and I know they use them every day and probably every night, but it was such a treat to watch this. Now, I think I do actually want to go back again in a couple years, but I want to do maybe a multiple day pass so we can experience the park and not be rushed and just enjoy everything it has to offer, because I'm sure we didn't see half of everything Disneyland had to offer, but we were trying to do a lot in our trip. We went to Disneyland, we went to Universal Studios, we went to Paramount Studio Tour. We just wanted a little taste of everything, and then we just explored around Los Angeles a little bit. So definitely next time we'll get a multiple day pass, and I would really like to stay at night and see the nighttime parade and see the fireworks. But I know when you leave at night, it's probably a madhouse of people and the traffic is probably terrible. The parade was over. We did go find that Disney member that chose us to be in the reserve section, and we were so appreciative. This was the park at probably about 3 o'clock, and you see how crowded it was. So this was kind of our cue to head on out. We had a great time, but the crowd was pretty thick. So we did hit some of the gift shops on the way out, and these cool little Swarovski Mickey and Minnie and Jasmine and Aladdin were like $40,000. So I had to take a video of it since I won't be buying any of those. And they had some cool crowns and tiaras the little girls could wear to feel like a princess at Disneyland. Now, the gift shops were just full of toys and collectibles, and I'm a huge toy collector. I actually own a toy museum, but I actually didn't buy anything here. It was all really cute stuff, but it wasn't anything I couldn't find online. So it's hard to carry all this stuff back in your suitcase. So I did not buy anything. The only thing we really bought were some Disney Christmas ornaments for our tree, and they were kind of expensive. I think they were about $25 for the ornament, but we have a travel tree, so we always pick up an ornament when we go places. And this gift shop was really cool because it had this train that went around the edge of the store. So I got a little bit of video of that. That's pretty cool, but it kind of gave me like an 80s vibe. And then I just videotaped a couple more of the toys because they did have a lot of really cool things. And if you're taking little kids to Disneyland, you better bring some extra money because they're going to want a lot of this. And they have a ton of gift shops there. They have dolls, they have walls and walls of plush animals. So you're definitely going to end up spending money if you take kids to Disneyland. But I think that's the whole point of it. Well, we had a fantastic time at Disneyland. I'm really glad I did it. It was something on my bucket list that I wanted to do, and I can finally say I did it. Now, we did not stay until the nighttime. I'm sure the nighttime was a whole different magical world with the fireworks and another parade, but we were already exhausted, and we had to go back to the hotel and pack up because it was our last day in California. So thank you so much for watching. Thank you, Disneyland, for giving us such a fantastic time. And I can't wait to see where life takes us next.